Hiya, welcome to another video here on the channel, and in today's video I thought we'd take a look at the Ferrex 370 watt benchtop sander. Now, I bought this benchtop sander just over a year ago from my local Aldi. Bought it on a bit of a whim. It was a tool that I sort of thought I wanted, but I was happy enough turning over my belt sander on its side and using that. So I wasn't sure this is something that I needed. So when I was in Aldi and I spotted this for $89.99, I thought, yeah, it's worth a go. So as I say, I've had it just over a year now. So let's go through what it does. So this benchtop sander basically has two sanding facilities. It has a disc sanding facility and it has a belt sanding facility. Currently I've got fitted on here a 40 grit sanding disc, and it's a little bit too coarse for me. I changed this after the original disc ran out about 6 months ago, and as I say, it's too coarse, so I'm going to change it now for this 120 grit disc, and we'll go through how you do that. Now, the easiest way I find to change the disc is not to remove the table, as I've seen some people do, but in fact if you just remove the screw here and then slacken this one off, this metal plate for the guard will then drop out. And if you undo this locking knob here, which adjusts the angle of the table, you can tilt the table. And then as the disc is held on with Velcro, it's really easy just to peel it off. And then to fit the new one, I slide it up underneath, line it up, and then you can just push it on. Really simple, really easy. I also found this angle gauge to be pretty accurate out of the box. If it's not, you can just slacken off this screw and adjust the pointer to the correct angle. And this sanding table will tilt up to 45 degrees, and again, it's pretty accurate. Putting a straight edge across the table, you can also see that it's flat and true. So moving on to the top belt. Now, this top belt is a brand new belt I put on about 2 months ago, and I've not used the belt sander since. The original belt lasted a good 10 months and I had a hell of a lot of use out of that, so that's quite a good life for a cheap factory spec belt that came with this. So the way I change a belt on here is different to other people, and I'm not saying my way's the best, I'm just saying my way works for me, another way might work for you. But you have to remove a plate from underneath, and I find it easier to flip the belt up to do this. Now, there's a diagram on the back telling you where the bolts are that hold the sanding belt in position depending on what orientation you have the belt, horizontal or vertical, and they need to be slackened off. Then to remove the plate, these two screws need to be slackened off also. Then you can flip up this tensioning lever, which will release the tension on the belt, and the belt should slide off. To refit the belt, it's the same process but in reverse, not forgetting to put the belt direction the right way and to tighten the two screws and the bolts. Then after changing the belt, you can adjust the side-to-side tracking of the belt with an adjustment wheel on the side until you get it centered. Now, in the year I've owned it, the only one issue that I've encountered when using it is this drive belt here started slipping. So when you're sanding something on the top belt, the belt's jumping, and this belt has become loose and it's jumping on the teeth. So it's quite a simple fix really. You just flip the top belt up and there's an adjustment in here, and you can either tighten it or loosen it off. Now, I don't think this bench sander is overly loud either. So checking the decibels on this app I've just downloaded on my phone, the noise tops out at 76.9 decibels, which I think is pretty reasonable. So in the year that I've owned this benchtop sander, I've used it on loads of different materials. I made a marking knife and used it to sand back the metal on that and to get a sharp edge, link up here. We used it on many a wooden project on my channel. When I did the guttering on my house, I used it on the downpipe to square that up. We used it on PVC pipe, pretty much loads of things. But rather than take my word for it how good it is, we've got a rough piece here of maple that we're going to use on the belt sander to get that smooth. And we've got a piece of yew here, we'll use it on the disc with the mitre and get the ends square. First of all though, I'm going to put my dust mask and other PPE on. If we check the squareness against this quick square, you can see it's absolutely perfect and flush to the square. Checking the 45-degree angle, you can see that this is spot on to the square also. Looking over a rough piece of maple, you can now see that it's smooth and certainly by eye looks to be square to the rest of the piece of wood. Don't forget, if you're liking this style of video and the content and the lockdown hairstyle, don't forget to give me the old thumbs up and hit subscribe so you can see more of these fantastic videos. Now you might have noticed when I was sanding all this stuff back, there's quite a bit of dust kicked up. Now the one thing that I cannot comment on about this is the quality of the dust extraction. It is a great big sanding tool, so I do expect there to be a fair bit of dust not collected. But the main reason that I've not got one is because I've not got a connector big enough to fit onto my vacuum hose from here. However, my YouTube buddy Sparky415 has come up with a fantastic idea how to make your own. And I'll put a link up here or in the description box, so check that video out to see how you can make your own one to fit onto one of these. So in the year that I've owned it then, what are the good and bad points that I found of it? Well, let's go over the bad points. So one of the bad points is the user manual, the instructions. As you get with these cheaper tools, they're a bit vague, a bit hazy. It gives you the basics, but it doesn't tell you everything. So I had to do a bit of research about this, and this machine is a BTS 800 and it's pretty much identical. I think this is the only thing different on the Shepak BTS 900. And as we know, Ferrex share a lot of their tools with Shepak anyway. The other thing that I had to look up was the belt size for this, and the belt size is 100 by 914mm. Again, found that off the Shepak website, because there's no mention of it in the user manual. The only good thing about the user manual that I did find was on the back page is a parts diagram. So should anything break or you need a replacement part for anything, like the belt for instance, then you can look it up in there, contact Aldi, Ferrex, and if you can't get it from them, you can highly likely get it from Shepak. Now if I want to be ultra picky as well about a few bad points, is this side bit's made of plastic and it's quite flimsy, I think, because if you had an accident whilst you're standing here, I don't think it would take much to break it. And this fence here is rather flimsy, so that could easily get bent out of square. However, the good points are, it's £90. It has a really solid base, really heavy solid base. The anti-vibration feet work really well, it doesn't move when you're using it. And overall, I've been really happy with it. I can't see me changing this for anything else until something major goes wrong with it. On top of all that, it does of course come with a 3-year warranty. So if anything does go wrong in those 3 years, from what I've been told, I've never actually used the warranty with Aldi or Ferrex, but I'm told they're pretty good. So that's another bonus. Now if you're liking what you've seen with this machine, this video is coming out on Saturday the 18th of July, and on Sunday the 19th of July this is actually back in stock in store in Aldi, and you can also order it for pre-order now on their website. I think you can also order it for a delivery. There may be a delivery charge, I don't know, I didn't look that far into it. Anyway, hope you like the review on this Aldi Ferrex benchtop sander. I really like it, and if you like it, grab yourself one. I'll see you in the next one.